Good morning. In the previous class, we have learned about hypothalamus. So today, let us go to the next gland, endocrine gland, the pituitary gland. Okay, so this pituitary gland, it is also located in the brain, the forebrain part. It hangs with the help of a small stalk, which is called as infundibulum, and it is divided into two parts. Okay, adenohypophysis, and this is the neurohypophysis. Okay, I repeat, the pituitary gland is located in the forebrain part and it hangs from the hypothalamus with the help of a stalk-like part called as infundibulum. For convenience sake, it is divided into two parts based upon its secretions and function into adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. This adenohypophysis is again divided into two parts called as pars distalis, the distal region, so pars distalis, and this is called pars intermedia. In human beings, there is no clear-cut differentiation between pars distalis and pars intermedia. Both of them, they lie very close to each other. And neurohypophysis is also called as pars nervosa. I repeat, pars distalis, pars intermedia, and pars nervosa. Now coming to the secretions of this particular gland. So here, the pars distalis, also called as the anterior pituitary gland, it secretes hormones such as growth hormone, the GH, prolactin, PL, ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormones, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone. Once again, the pars distalis part of the pituitary gland secretes growth hormone, prolactin, adrenocorticotropic hormones, thyroid stimulating hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, and luteinizing hormone. Okay, so these are the secretions of pars distalis. Now pars intermedia. Okay, this part, it releases melanocyte stimulating hormone, MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone, and pars nervosa, it secretes oxytocin and vasopressin and oxytocin. Now coming to a brief description about these hormones. Coming to growth hormones, as the name indicates, it controls the body metabolism, the growth. When this hormone is secreted or released in excess quantity, it leads to a condition called as gigantism. Okay, it leads to excess growth of the individual, and such a disorder is called as gigantism. This is hypersecretion. If the growth hormone is released in less quantity than that is required, then the person becomes a dwarf. The condition is called as dwarfism. Okay, and there is another disorder called as acromegaly, where the growth hormone secretions suddenly they become more at the adolescent stage. And what we observe is that the lower jawbone, it grows abnormally, and even the feet, they grow abnormally. So this is one condition where we can make out that there is some problem with the growth hormone. So that much about growth hormone. Now coming to prolactin, lactin, the word itself, it helps us to understand that it is something related to milk glands. So prolactin, this hormone, it stimulates the growth of the mammary glands and release of the milk or secretions of the mammary glands, prolactin. Next, ACTH, adrenocortico, okay, adrenocorticothyroxine hormone. Okay, so here, trophic hormone, ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormones. Adrenal, it is related to adrenal cortex. So at the cortex part of the adrenal gland, it releases certain steroids such as glucocorticoids, which we are going to deal about them in detail in next class. ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormones. These hormones are released by the cortex part of the adrenal gland. Example, steroids like glucocorticoids. Okay, next, the thyroid stimulating hormone. Okay, this hormone stimulates the thyroid gland to release thyroid hormones, which I am going to do in the next part. Thyroid stimulating hormone. Now coming to FSH and LH. These are examples of gonadotropins. As I mentioned earlier, gonadotropins. Okay. Now the follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, how they function, you have to understand how they function in a male or a female. In case of males, the luteinizing hormone, it releases the male hormones called as androgens. I repeat, LH in males helps in releasing the male hormone androgen. So androgen plus the follicle stimulating hormone together bring about the spermatogenesis, formation and the development of the sperm is because of the action of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormones in case of males. I repeat, the luteinizing hormone releases certain androgens, okay, and the follicle stimulating hormone along with the androgens help in spermatogenesis in males. Coming to females, the luteinizing hormone LH, the luteinizing hormone, it helps in ovulation, rupturing of the follicle and releasing of the ova, ovulation by LH. Follicle stimulating hormone, it helps in the development of the follicles, the primary, secondary, it helps in the maintenance of the follicle and also the corpus luteum. After ovulation, whatever corpus luteum is there, it helps in maintaining this corpus luteum inside the body for pregnancy. Okay, so that is about the secretions of the pars digitalis. Now coming to MSH, melanocyte, M for melanocyte, stimulating hormone. So melanin means something related to our pigmentation. So MSH, it controls the pigmentation of the skin. Okay. Now coming to the secretions of pars nervosa, oxytocin and vasopressin. See, vasopressin, okay, it is related to the reabsorption of water by the distal part of the nephron. Okay, there's a tube for PCT and DCT. So DCT part, it helps in reabsorption of water. So if vasopressin is released in sufficient amount, it helps in reabsorption. If it is not released in sufficient amount, then reabsorption does not take place. As a result, there is frequent urination, lots of water is lost from the body. Okay, it is also called as ADH, antidiuretic hormone. Okay, I repeat, vasopressin, it is related to the kidney. This hormone, it helps in regulation of urine or regulation of water loss from the body. If ADH is not released in sufficient amount, it leads to excess loss of water, which is also called diabetes insipidus. Diabetes insipidus.